Okay, so let's talk about the second application we're learning today, which is block dimension. Block dimension is, and you guys can see this on the cards in front of you, it's super simple, super straightforward. This is a great addition to any existing hair color service, especially if you're doing an all-over color on a client each time. This is a great way to incorporate some of those dimensional accents without scaring them off with the maintenance of highlights. So the first thing we're going to do is section her off. You'll notice that the sectioning is 2 diamonds. It doesn't get more easy than that, right? So the first diamond, we're going to first figure out where the part is at, and our diamond is going to be surrounding that part. So we'll start a little bit back from their hairline, and then we'll end that diamond just a little bit past where their hair splits in the back. And it doesn't need to be super wide, maybe an inch on either side of their part at the widest part of that diamond. So go ahead and do that. And then I'll show you guys what this diamond is going to look like. Because it's not a giant, complicated diamond. It's just a little sliver on her part line, which is pretty easy and pretty amazing. So once I have her diamond, I'm going to show you guys this. Here's her top diamond. Cool. And then we're going to go around to her back diamond. So the back of her head is a little bit wider of a diamond. We want to really incorporate the bulk of the back of the hairline. So the simplest way for me to do this is to stand directly behind my client and find their ears. And I'll start from her ear and go straight up to that apex. We'll clip that out of the way. We'll do the same thing on the opposite side, but going from the apex to the back of the ear. And then from there, we can generally just stand back and look at the section and create the rest of the diamond. You do want to leave a little bit around every side, so this is not going all the way to the edge of her hairline. And I'll show you guys what this looks like before we get started. I'm just going to clip her bottom out of the way just so it's not in the way. So now we have her back triangle, her back diamond, and then her top diamond. Those are the only 2 sections. Pretty simple, right? So we're going to start our application in the back. You'll notice in the cards it makes reference to foil groupings. So a grouping is going to be 2 back-to-back foils. They can have whatever they want in them. So what we do want to do is make sure one is a high and one is a low. So in this circumstance, we're using a cream lightener in one foil and then right around a 7C in the other foil. So I think it's a 3-part 6C, 1 part 8C, either way, it's somewhere around a 7. So it's a deeper, richer foil next to a lighter, brighter foil. And you can weave or slice or microweave or skip slice, whatever you want to do inside those foils, but just make sure they're contrasting colors. So across the back, we are planning on 4 or 5 foil groupings. Each grouping has 2 foils, so that means 10 foils across the back. The direction will be completely up to you. We're going to start at the bottom and work our way straight up and across. But you can also start on this side and work your way this way, whatever side is more comfortable for you. Just know you're going to take a parting, you'll put a foil grouping in there, so 2 foils back to back. You'll skip a section, do another foil grouping, all the way parallel until you get to the end of that section. Super easy, right? So this alone is adding a lot of dimension and movement through the back of her hair, an area that doesn't get a lot of attention. So once we have the back done, we are going to move on to the front and the sides. I'll show you in a second what we're going to do right around this diamond, but I want to address the negative space over here on the sides. You'll notice in the diagram, it'll tell you to put a couple of foil groupings up each side. If she is perfectly centered if her part is perfectly centered, then you can do an even amount on each side, but she's not perfectly centered. So we want to make sure this color stays balanced. So on this side, we might do 4 or 5 foil groupings, but on this side we might only do 1 or 2. just make sure that she stays balanced. So even though this side is going to come up a little higher, make sure you have the same amount of brightness or depth on each side. The other option you have with this look is to add baby lights around the hairline. So if your client really wants those pops of brightness around her face, go ahead and incorporate those now. Go ahead and decide how many of those groupings you want to put on either side, and then we'll go to the top diamond. Cool? Perfect. I'm going to tilt her forward a little bit. Oops, got her turned around. So on this top here, we are going to leave her in this clip because we're only working around the outside. So each side is going to have maybe 2 foil groupings. So a total of 4 foils on each side of this diamond. 8 foils total, or 16 foils total. So what you'll do is you'll do your light foil, you'll do your depth foil. You'll skip a little bit, then you'll do back to back a light foil and a depth foil. It is up to you if you want the light or the dark foil to be on the top. Think about what your end result is going to be, what do you want to see more of, and put that on the top. So if you want to see more brightness, then put the light foil around the top. If you want to see more depth and contrast, then put the dark foil on the top. So if you can picture, you'll have all of this dimension underneath. So when you do let this top section down, it's just going to be a beautiful veil of their natural hair color falling over all of those highs and lows. Pretty cool, right? Now we get to decide which look we're going to do on our model today.